शरीरं गृहं पूजाते विषयोपभोगरचना निद्रा समाधिस्थितिः सञ्चारः पदयोः प्रदक्षिणविधिः स्तोत्राणि सर्वा गिरो यद्यत् कर्म करोमि तत्तदखिलं शम्भो तवाराधनम्।
Jai Gurudev, Jai Gurudev. Let us start with the Guru Vandanam. Akhanda Mandalakaram Vyaptam Yena Characharam Tatpadam Darsitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Ajnanatimirandhasya Gnananjana Salakayam Chakshurmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. I want to take a few minutes this morning and just share with you how my spiritual life progressed. I had always been a seeker, I should say from birth, and the seeking went in different ways. But I was too busy studying. Being very busy with studies did not really stop me from seeking, and I would continue to seek in my own way, trying to read this or that, or inquire about this or that, or think about this or that in my mind. I never had the opportunity to have mantra diksha, to receive mantra diksha from Vidyanandagiri Swamiji. We were closely associated with the ashram, especially my parents, and we would often go and visit the ashram and felt the ashram very much a part of it. And as all of you know, or at least some of you know, our association has been from my grandparents' time. So we always felt Maharshi Malayala Swami Ashram in Irped like our second home, and we felt, yes, this is our ashram and this is our guru. After I finished medicine, I immediately left the States. That was in 1974. I left the country, just got married, and then with my husband Janardan, we left the country. The next few years, and really the whole of the stay in US was a very, very hectic time. And I was really trying to see how can I learn meditation, and that is when I learned to meditate from Maharishi Mahesh Yogi. The technique he gave was Transcendental Meditation technique. Just transcending the thoughts and going beyond the thoughts, it opened up something very deeply in me. It brought back so many memories. I would say memories of the past life, memories of what I did not even know. They all came up one after the other. I would meditate regularly, morning and evening, and that was my anushthan. With a very, very busy life, that was my anushthan, meditating morning and evening regularly. I would never miss even one single day. And then a few years later, I took the advanced meditation techniques belonging to the Maharishi Mahesh Yogi organization. These were the TM Siddhis, where Maharshi would give the Patanjali Yoga Sutras and then the flying technique. This has really deepened my meditation and also my awareness, and then ultimately it gave me the Nirvikalpa Samadhi about 1992. The desire to be enlightened has always been there, right from childhood. I was wondering, how can one be enlightened? It has been on my mind. And I remember reading autobiography of a yogi when I was only 15 years old. In reality, there has to be a lot of grace, a lot of Guru's grace, and a lot of God's grace to be enlightened. Because any technique can take you only so far, like a japa or meditation or puja can only take you so far. And what is actually self-realization is beyond the mind and the intellect. The mind and the intellect have to dissolve in the Atma, and then only the consciousness can take you to the consciousness, or the self is revealed by the self. So here the mind is not there and the intellect is not there. So any technique can only take you that far. But when it from the level where you get to the consciousness, and the consciousness has to take you to the consciousness and reveal itself, and then all these techniques really have no role there. They have stopped at some point, but they are infinitely important. The same way with Guru's teachings. The Guru's teachings can take you so much. Guru's teachings can give you so much knowledge. Guru's teachings can give you so much of light. But at some point there has to be that grace, that God's grace, where the consciousness can take you to the consciousness and reveal itself. Initially, the samadhis are savikalpa, that means where there is duality, there is some form, there are images, but you are in samadhi, that means the mind is still there. It's only when you go beyond the mind and there is complete dissolution of the mind in the Atma, then the Nirvikalpa comes. When the Nirvikalpa is there, that means it is Nirvikalpa. There is no name or form, and all that is there is the self alone. There is no mind or the body or the intellect. All that is there is the self alone. The self stands alone, and that is what you are, and that is what you are. You are that self. This is the greatest realization for any human being, that you are the self, that you are that infinite self, and you are not the limited human being, that you are the all-pervading self, and you are not that limited with boundaries. It is difficult for anyone to explain what this is completely. It is beyond comprehension. It is totally beyond comprehension. But at least something which is striking is that it is fully awake. It is fully awake. That self is fully awake. It really feels like you have 1,000 eyes and you are able to see in all directions. And that fully awake state is there. So the self is fully awake to itself. The self is fully awake to itself. The next thing that is very striking is the Purnatvam, the fullness. Here the mind only remembers certain things, but mind is not here. The fullness that you remember later, the Purnatvam, is also beyond comprehension. Because there are no boundaries. There are no edges. It is not like a cup which is full, but it has the boundaries, It is not like a pond which is full because it has boundaries. It is not even like the ocean because it has beaches and boundaries. It seems like the infinite sky, but there is not you. All that there is the sky, that infinite sky alone, without the boundaries. And that fullness, you understand, you cannot add even one more drop. It is that full, it is that full, it is that full. You cannot add even one more drop to it, it is that full. And what is that fullness? That fullness is only the Ananda. That fullness is only the Ananda. Here the bliss is full. The fullness is Ananda. It is full of bliss. And this is a phenomenal knowledge, phenomenal knowing of the self. When this Nirvikalpa Samadhi came to me, and I was there, I don't know, 2.5 or 3 hours or whatever it was, and coming back, I could not relate to my own body, and I could not relate to the whole world. How can something that infinite relate to something which is finite? How can one relate something which is so unbounded to something which is bounded? And how can one relate to something which is all pervading in all directions, like seeing with 1,000 eyes, and you have such limited vision and such limited knowledge in this world? It really took me a long time. It really took me a long time, not just few days. It took me several months again, to understand what is going on. I really did not have the Guru next to me even to explain this phenomenon. But then the samadhis started coming for a little bit. They were not there for a few months. And then again, I was having the samadhis regularly. But I continued to work, and I was working way too hard. It is really very important that, when the spiritual experiences are coming, that one needs good rest and one needs moderate work, not, very hard work. And one needs a lot of understanding environment around you, because so many things are changing inside. The family also needs to be very understanding. I will continue on this as time goes by. For now I will stop. Jai Gurudev, Jai Gurudev.